Hi guys! Today we're going to specify and partition a whole into equal parts, identifying and counting unit fractions by drawing pictorial area models. Let's look at these shapes. Looking at number 1, how many equal parts are there in all? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 equal parts at all. So the fractional unit for 3 equal parts would be thirds. That would be the fractional unit that I would be using. What fraction is shaded? There are 2 out of the 3 that are shaded, so we would write this as 2/3. Let's look at shape number 3 down below. And let's ask ourselves the same thing. How many equal parts are there in all? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 equal parts, so the fractional unit that we would use would be called eighths. And then the next question is, how many of those eighths are shaded? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 eighths are shaded. Each part in this long rectangle down below is an eighth. So one of these units or tiles, the way that we talked about it in Module 4, would be considered 1/8. 1/8. Each one of these is an eighth. There are 5 out of 8 shaded, so 5/8 is shaded. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to the problem set. Let's read through the directions. Each shape is a whole divided into equal parts. Name the fractional unit and then count and tell how many of those units are shaded. The first one is done for you. So I see each shape is a whole divided into equal parts. I need to name the fractional unit and then count and tell how many of those units are shaded. The first one is done for you. So when I look at this first one, I see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts altogether. That's where they come up with fourths. Oops, did not mean to erase that, or cross that off. So let's erase that and let me try to circle it. Fourths, there we go. And when I need to name or count how many of those units are shaded, I see that there's 1, 2 that are shaded, so 2/4 are shaded. Let's look at the second one. I need to name the fractional unit. Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 altogether, so my fractional unit would be eighths. And they want me to name and tell how many of those units are shaded. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are shaded. So 5/8. And I'm going to leave my answer like that because of space. So 5/8. I want you to pause the video here and complete the next 2 problems by yourselves. Once you finish it, resume playing the video to check your answers. Are you ready? Go ahead and pause. Go ahead and check your answers with mine. The third picture, there are 3 altogether, so my fractional unit would be thirds, and 3/3 are shaded. For the fourth one, there's 2 different parts. We use the fractional unit halves. 1/2 is shaded. If you don't have these answers, go ahead and correct or fix your work so that your work matches mine. Each shape is one whole. Estimate to divide each into 4 equal parts. Name the fractional unit below. So I need to estimate and divide each into 4 equal parts. Name the fractional unit below. I'm going to work on this horizontal line with you because this is new. We haven't seen this yet. So I need to divide this into 4 equal parts. So I'm going to draw 3 dots to show my 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. And I tried to space them out as best as I could to show that they're equal. And when I look at my 3 dots, I can see that here's one part, the second part, the third part, and the fourth part. So there's my 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want you to pause right here, and I want you to go ahead and divide the rectangle end of the circle into 4 equal parts, and then name the fractional unit. Go ahead and pause the video. Your work should look similar to the answers that I just did on my own paper. My rectangle I broke up into fourths, my circle I broke up into fourths, and the fractional unit that I used would be fourths. That would be my fractional unit. So make sure that you have the correct answers. I'm pretty sure that most of you do because I am going around checking your work and talking to you if you don't. But if there's any confusion, just raise your hand and I'll come over and help. Okay, guys. We've been doing a great job looking at concrete pictures and answering questions. But let's go ahead and use our ELA strategies to help us answer the word problem about Charlotte. It reads, Charlotte wants to equally share a candy bar with 4 friends. Draw Charlotte's candy bar. Show how she can divide her candy bar so everyone gets an equal share. What fraction of the candy bar does each person receive? So let's go ahead and annotate the important parts here. Charlotte wants to equally share a candy bar with 4 friends. Charlotte and her 4 friends. So you need to think, how many people is that? Charlotte and her 4 friends. Draw Charlotte's candy bar. Show how she can divide her candy bar so everyone gets an equal share. Everyone gets an equal share. We need to divide it so everyone gets an equal share. What fraction of the candy bar does each person receive? So I want you to pause right here and I want you to attempt to do this by yourselves using the notes that we just did on the previous pages. I will be coming around, checking your answers, and working with you if you need it. Are you ready? Go ahead and pause. So when I go ahead and draw my candy bar, I know that Charlotte and her 4 friends, that's 5 people. So I need to break my candy bar up into fifths. And I try to make them as equal as possible. And that's not really equal to me. So I'm going to erase it because I didn't think all those pieces were equal. And I'm going to do it again. So here's my candy bar, and I'm going to try to make the pieces as equal as I can. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So there's Charlotte and her 4 friends. So there's 5 people. And I know that 5 people are going to share the whole candy bar. So now, after I drew the candy bar to show Charlotte and her 4 friends, they're asking what fraction of the candy bar does each person receive? Each person is going to receive one of these parts, one of these equal parts, and that's 1/5. Because there's 5 pieces all together, and each person is going to get 1/5. So each person receives 1/5. All right, guys, we did a great job today on this lesson. You are now going to be looking up at the board at your next direction of where you guys can move to. Are you ready? Good luck.